at the structure of the old houses. 어. 와. I'm gonna disturb you.